Good morning, everyone. I'm back. Let me show you what we've got. So yesterday, worked on finishing up the back end. All of it's been detail work, going from pretty good to better. You can't see what we did. We tried putting the wheels on that I have that match the back on the front. They won't fit, so I ordered some spacers. They're supposed to be in tomorrow, so we'll get that going. Oh, what else? Okay, so I actually got to work on the vents a little bit, not a lot, but got them placed. We worked on this quarter panel, getting it shaped correctly. If you remember right, I kind of made a rough piece out of metal initially for that front piece, and it was really close. If you see the marks there, what happened is I put a guide coat on there, which is a light spraying of another color. That panel was initially white, so I used some flat black paint, sprayed on a light coat, and then sanded it to see how smooth and straight it is. So those dark areas are low spots, but they're not very low. They're just enough to say they're low. So another skim coat of body filler, and that should take care of that. The back area, Jacobo, my body guy, did that. That's a separate piece. So what I did was I first bonded the vents to that upper piece that I had made, and that's where that area is in between here. It's a little bit rough, but not nearly as bad as it looks. A lot of that's going to be sanded off. Let's see, and then I use my templates. I don't know how many of you have been with this, but I have these templates that I made. That's what all these marks are on this car. And I went over to the other side, and this happens to be template E. You can't see the E except for right there. And what I did was I made this out of foam and fiberglass. Put a piece of tape down, put the foam down, hot glued it, and then put fiberglass right here. And the idea is that this is going to exactly follow that contour of that panel. And if we were to get down on my knees and show you, you would see that that does exactly follow the contour. So then what I do is I come over to the other side, and I already had the panel made. So really all I needed to know was, where does the panel get mounted so it works correctly? And so I put this here like it belongs. And the problem is that when you have a piece with an angle on that side, the angle is going to go this way, and when you flip it, it goes the wrong way. So the only actual spot that's accurate is the line right there. To be perfect, I would cut all of this off, but I have to have some way to mount it. So when you put it on here, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, in that this is the right contour, but this extra piece being at the wrong angle. See, that should be 90 degrees or less on that angle, and instead it's slightly over 90 degrees because of that angle. Anyway, a lot of explanation to say that when I put this here, you can see that there's a high spot right here that I've got to grind down. I purposely put a lot of filler there so that I would have room to lower that. So once that gets lowered, you can see there's a little bit of a gap, but by the time this drops down that much, it's going to be really, really close to fitting that. Anyway, this is just the front one. Then I have the next one right here, which is D. It goes all the way to the bottom of the car. So if I put D here and put it in place, you can see that it matches up. There's no daylight there. Okay, and we did the same back here. There's several of these. I won't bore you with more, but this is a separate piece. This front one, the white one, and then the green one is the one that my bodyguard did. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to literally cut this line. It's a crooked line because he got it flat and level up to here, and if I pull this off, it's not as flat and level and smooth. So what I'm going to do is literally cut this line with my multi-tool, and then I'm going to put these two panels together. I'm going to sandwich them and then fiberglass them together, and that will make this all one piece. And then he's going to do what he calls a flow coat, where he just takes body filler, skim coat of body filler, and just runs it all along here and then sands it to shape. All right, the next thing I have to do is the tops of the vents. They're going to be radiused. I found a cap to some, I don't know, some aerosol thing that's about a 2-inch diameter. So I'm going to use that and make 3 pieces of radius for the top. I'm going to experiment with how high or low that goes. I've got some construction paper, white construction paper, that I'm going to put on there and play with that. The running board right here, it got bonded on. Those of you that have been with us for a while, the actual running board, I used a piece of plastic guttering as a template and put this on the inside. It's fiberglass on the inside, and that plastic template gave me a smooth uniform shape. And so then I tacked it onto, actually I bonded it onto the C8 body to extend it out further. We left this loose because when my body guy was shaping, Jacobo was shaping that front section there on the other side, he said it was really hard to get his hand in there. So we left this loose for right now. So that'll solve that problem. This back edge needs to be completely defined and cut. As somebody pointed out, the door does hit when it opens. It doesn't hit on the other side. The other thing is the wheel spacing, fender spacing. You can see that because this isn't mounted, it's only temporarily mounted. That needs to be fixed, but to do that, the spacing between the wheel and the fender needs to be the same on both sides. So all of this kind of has to follow in an order to do that. Still need to fix that shape here to match. This is that silver tape with the really sticky backside. Of course, now it's been sitting out in our work area. We sand a lot. There's a lot of dust, so the dust is falling on this and it's not tacky anymore. But I'll put some a fiberglass, a thin coat of fiberglass on top of that and shape it. The way that we're making sure everything is aligned is, of course, using a level now. We're at that point, and have these sewing, I think they're sewing tapes, flexible ones. And so we use these to measure side to side and make sure everything's aligned. Oh, headlights, got to do headlights. So that's another thing I'm going to do today, is work on mounting the headlights. The company that makes the headlights had me measure. I measured. They're a really tight fit, maybe too tight, so I might have to do a little. I should have given myself a little slack. I thought that they would. Come to find out, whatever you tell them that measurement is, they made it exactly that number. All right, that's all I can think of. Oh, that my body guy calls it the tunnel. So the tunnel needs to be done on this side. This piece in the center here, I took a piece of large PVC from like plumbing drain system and made it out of fiberglass. I made a long enough piece because I knew I would need it for both sides. So I have another piece of this in the house. I'm going to go in there and mount it. And then we have to do this transition at the back and then blend it in back there. So, still a lot of work to do. Oh, the door. It took a long time to do this passenger side door because I was designing as I went. Now it's going to be a lot easier because we know what we're going to design, and that is a skin that goes over the C8. The reason it took so long is initially I was trying to save as much of the C8 door skin as possible. So that top section looked pretty good through here, other than that body line right there. If you notice, that's gone on the other side. And obviously this area had to go. And this part right here that sticks way out had to go. So I was trying to sneak up on it and cut out as little of this as possible. By the time I was done, basically the entire center section, there was a little border all the way around the door, and a little bit of this up here that got saved, and the rest all got cut out. So now it's going to be easier because now I know, just cut the whole center section of the door out and be done with it. So something that took 3 days to do now should take a couple of hours. All right, I think that's it. Oh, wheel spacers. The wheels I had didn't fit. I ordered spacers. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. So that'll take care of the front wheels. That's why there's different wheels on the front and rear. The wheels that I have for the front won't fit without the wheel spacers. Kind of got lucky that they were in stock and available. All right. I've got to figure out something about this. In fact, I need to look this up. These are some kind of modules that were underneath the C8 fender right here, and the new fender inner fenders. So I've got to figure out how to remount those. The inner fenders. There's an inner fender on this one. It's not on the other side. I'm not sure if I can keep it. I might have to leave it off temporarily until I figure out what to do about that. And again, it's because of interference with that module. Oh, the fender, the C8 fender, underneath this C2 body, there's no fender. It's not really mounted. It's mounted in the front because it's bonded in. It's not mounted in the rear, and the C8 fender, I need the mounting points off of it. Not sure where it is. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, what I'm going to do is the same thing I've been doing. Is I'm going to keep the let's say 2-inch piece that mounts, has the actual mounting points, and cut off the rest of the fender, put it under there, and then bond the C2 fender to those mounting points. That way I don't have to remake the mounting points. Same thing here. This is the back fender that was on this side. Initially, I tried to make my own, and it took so long and so much work that I said, forget it. I was trying to save the original fender. By the time I was done, it was way too much work. So let me explain what I'm talking about. On each of the C8 body panels, I keep getting asked this a lot. All I'm saving is this mounting piece right here. And then I'm cutting the rest of the fender off. And then I'm going to create a piece that connects this C8 piece to my body, and that's how I'm going to mount. So eventually I'm going to use all of these mounting points from the C8, and all of these panels on this car will be the same outline as each of these panels, and that'll allow us to remove the panels if we need to. Okay, that's it for now. Like, subscribe, hit the alert. Oh, somebody wanted to see this passenger door open, but I don't have the key. And anyway, I'll do that next time. Trust me, the door works just fine. It opens. Let's see, what was he concerned about? Oh, the clearance here. Because this extends past the edge of the door, he was all concerned about the clearance here. I checked it. I mean, there's like 1/4 of an inch. And yes, what I had to do was I purposely made it too long, opened it up, kept trimming it till it cleared, and then I added 1/4 inch extra for clearance. So when you open this door all the way, there's 1/4 inch gap all the way down. I do need to work on this top corner, but that's not a big deal. It can be cut, whatever it needs to do. It does, but the door opens and closes. All right, something else. The door handle is going to be an issue. We had to take the door handle off because it's hidden underneath that piece. And so this door, the passenger door, there's no way to open the passenger door except from the inside of the car. So when I want this door open, that's why I didn't open it. I have to crawl in and go across, push the button and open it. Works okay for the passenger door, but as soon as I cut this off, this door, there won't be a way to open it. Our plan is to move the button underneath here on a carbon fiber piece. Right now, the button's here underneath, and the door, well, this door didn't open because I was working on this edge. Anyway, that button needs to be moved right here. I have the button. We're going to create a little box underneath the mirror and move it there. One of the issues was that getting that door off, that's the only thing that I had to take the door panel off for, was to get the handle out of there. And because I'm not going to use that, it was a whole lot easier just to cut the whole thing out. So that's what I did. So on this side, I was reluctant to do that on the other side. Now that I know that I have no choice, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's another thing today, is all of that gets cut out. All right, there we go. All right, everyone have a great day. We're going to be busy today. We only got a couple of days left to get this thing done. And as you can see, there's still a lot of work to do. All right, everyone have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.